him from the yard.
This is Down the Diecast Pirate. I almost said Down the Diecast Graveyard. I'm not Diecast Graveyard, I'm Diecast Pirate. Anyway, this week, actually looking at what today is, I think it's actually tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of Old Man Diecast's YouTube channel. So I decided to build the car that started it all for him, and that is the Redline restoration of the spoiler series Heavy Chevy. Let's get this thing up on the turntable and take a look at it. Alright, as it's coming around here, we can see that this car is in very well played with condition. Doesn't look like they ran it into anything. You see a lot of these cars where the front's all smashed up and everything. This one doesn't have that at all. I don't think we're going to go back purple on this one. I think I want to go another color, and I want to stay away from like the golds and coppers and stuff. I think I want to go with the darker color. So we'll have to wait and see what color I decide to go with. But anyway, yeah, it's got the number 8 roundels on it. I ruined those other number 8s. I don't know that I have any stripes for this. I'll have to look through my stuff and see if I already have some. If not, we won't put the stripes on it. We maybe, and if I don't have the stripes, we'll leave the roundels off, because I plan on doing 2 sets of these. One where they all have numbers and one where they don't. So, if I don't have those, then I'll get them for the next one that I do. So anyway, let's get this thing taken apart and see what we're working with. Alright, I would just like to point out one thing before I do drill this car and take it apart, and I don't know if you can see it here. I'm going to try to show it. That dashboard was never snapped in place at the factory. So this was an actual factory error car. But we're going to make it right. Also wanted to show you on the bottom, somebody had painted it with something. Some type of pink. Not exactly sure. So I've had this tool for a couple years now. And, you know, you've seen me use it for putting on the bearing wheels and whatnot. I just figured out what this end's for. Because I thought maybe it was to try to straighten, and I'd actually use it to take your bearing wheels off, I guess. Boom. Just like that, I took these bearing wheels off of here. Now, I am going to go with deep dishes on this car, but these are good enough to... They do show some play wear, but these might be good for, these might be good for another restoration on something else. So we'll set those aside. Alright. Alright. So this just got drilled. Got the base here. Of course, it's a Hong Kong base. And as always, I'll pull these axles out so when I clean it up I don't damage the bearings in any way. These are actually pretty straight, so this should come out of here fairly easily. I didn't show it on the last one, that Mustang. I actually put these axles back in with my fingers. I was like, well, that happened. So there's that. We'll get that all cleaned up and everything. We'll get it in the awesome sauce aircraft paint stripper to get that paint removed from the grill, and then and what's left on the taillights and what's underneath. Then we'll get this in the limeway and water. So here is this interior, this white interior, and this will clean up very nice. And this should snap in place the way it should have been from the factory. But we'll do that afterwards. We'll get it cleaned up first. And then we have the glass, which is 100% intact. No cracks or anything. The only thing I see... Oh, this is different. I haven't seen one like this before. So a lot of these spoilers cars and some of the Sweet 16s had these tabs on the back of the window, or I don't know if the Sweet 16s had it. A lot of the older Hot Wheels cars had these tabs to hold the glass in place. And they usually have two. Well, this one just had one. At first, when I looked at it, I thought one was broken off. But then I looked at the interior and nope, it just has one. But if you also notice this indent on the front of the dashboard there, that this is supposed to go in there. So, but we'll get this repaired, or we'll get that cleaned up and put it back the way it's supposed to be. That just happened. I've never taken one out like that before. Yeah, we'll get that filed down and we'll drill it and tap it, and we'll clean up these posts and drill and tap those too, and get it to the stripper and everything. We'll come back for the next step. Actually, you know what? I never show this step. I think I showed it in maybe 1 or 2 videos. So I have this file. And I really like this because it's such a broad file, and it gives me the ease of not having to put a lot of pressure on this. And I can just, and no matter what angle, like if there's stuff in the way, I can get in from any angle with this. And if I had to, there's one side, like this edge isn't a file, but the other side is. So pretty much I just flatten out the post for the most part. And that's going to remove any residual metal that actually poked through the hole. So now when I put the base on, it sits flush without having to be forced. Right? Now, that being said, I do have to go back and hit these with that center punch again. Because sometimes... since I drilled it with a larger drill bit and I'm going to go with a smaller one, the smaller drill bit likes to wander. And then with this engine, same deal. Yeah, okay. So whenever I go to do the assembly on this, I'm going to have to grind down the screw for the motor because I'm so afraid of going through part of the outside of the motor that I only go as far as I have to make it work. And then yep, that front screw is going to have to be ground down a little bit too. So once I have the threads in these holes, I do not re-drill them. I got them deep enough to put the screws in, and yeah, so that back hole's just fine. That screw's going to go all the way in. But the front hole is a little bit short for the screw. The screw didn't want to go all the way in. And the motor itself will need to be probably a third of the length taken off. So, alright. I'll come back for the next step. Alright, so I just got back from the sink with this stuff. The interior is very clean. Just snap that right back the way it's supposed to be if it'll stay. And it may not. And that might be why it wasn't snapped in place in the factory, because it doesn't want to stay. Interesting. So I think once I get it in there, it'll be okay. So put that aside, put this aside for now. We'll dip it in the floor shine and let it dry before it goes back in the car. But for right now, I wanted to get the flits out. So if you don't have flits, get you some. This is great stuff. Go ahead and smear some all over everything. And wherever that paint was on the base, it was really shiny there. And then this is after the lime away and water treatment. So get some of that. Don't forget the motor. Probably a little too much for that. Probably put a little bit of this somewhere in the car. There we go. All right. Find my Dremel tool. Now, last car, it decided to start working on low speed, and then once I shut it off and turned it back on, it did not want to do that again. So I don't remember where I left off. So I decided to start working on low speed on that last one, and then when I turned it off and turned it back on, it wouldn't work again. And then the next day it worked on low speed every time I turned it on, and then the next day it wouldn't. But I actually took it apart and cleaned it. So it actually works on low speed every time now. Okay, well, this car did not come out exactly the way I was hoping it would, and I tried a little something different on this one. It didn't work out, so I'm not going to tell you what that was. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and use the base coat on this, and then we're going to go red because I want to. So maybe next one that I do, we'll be able to polish it up nice. Still working on some stuff behind the scenes as far as plating and polishing goes. Won't be doing that on every single one, but if I had had more time on this car, if I didn't have to have the video out tomorrow, I would go ahead and try the process on this. But because this is, the night before the videos due, I mean, I don't really want to start a different car, which I could do and stay up half the night and get the video done. So we're going to continue and push forward with this and get this one done, and I think you guys are really going to like it. So we'll get stuff mixed up and move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present to you my Redline restoration of the spoiler series, Heavy Chevy. Let's get this thing up on the turntable and take a look at it. Alright, as it's coming around here, we can see that this car is in very well played with condition. Doesn't look like they ran it into anything. You see a lot of these cars where the front's all smashed up and everything. This one doesn't have that at all. Alright, so here it is. It's got those beautiful Redline wheels, those deep dish wheels from Bright Vision. You got the base coat in the beautiful Spectra Flame Red from the Redline shop. We cleaned up and dipped that original glass in the floor shine. Cleaned that interior, put the dashboard back up where it's supposed to be, it looks like. And yeah, so this week is Old Man Diecast's 1 year anniversary of his YouTube channel. Not the 1 year anniversary of my channel, but the 1 year anniversary of me starting to do restorations. Completing restorations is coming up next month as well. So we'll be doing something for that. Let me raise the lights up here. So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I decided to go red with this because I really wanted to do red, but also it's Old Man Diecast's favorite color. And no, I'm not sending this car to you. I've kind of decided now that if I'm going to send cars to people, they're not going to know what it is, right? So I may give them an indication that something's coming, but I'm not going to tell them what it is. And that way it's more of a surprise. And then also, I don't have to beat a timeline. I can work on them in my spare time, and when I get them done, I can send them out. And yeah, so I got number 6 now of the spoilers cars. Let's go ahead and raise this camera up here if we can. And so number 6 now, we started with the Light My Firebird, and then we did the TNT Bird, and the Sugar Caddy. I still love that car. And the Nitty Gritty Kitty. And the King Cuda. And I do have the new glass. Sorry. I do have the new glass for this from Second Chance Redline, so I'll be getting that swapped out. And now the Heavy Chevy. And the next one that's going to be coming up will be the Boss Hoss. That won't be next week. It'll be the week after. And it's not going to stay a club car. We'll do something different with this. This one has bearing wheels too, but I'm not sure what color it's going to be, but it's not going to stay a club car. I think I have a glass that's... I don't know. I have to look and see what I have. Yeah. I do have a... I don't know if they all had the dark on the back or if it was just a club car. But we'll take a look at that when the time comes. And then the last one will be the Evil Weevil. So we're coming up to getting the first set of these done. And my thought was when I first started them was once I got the first set done that I would start into the second set. I may hold off on that and get some up and start getting into some other cars. And then we'll revisit the spoiler series at another time. Like I said, I want to have 2 full sets of these. One will be all decaled up and the other one will not. And I'm really, now that I see the red on this, I'm really wanting to put the stripes on it, and I didn't look to see if I had them or not. But I have several Heavy Chevys. Probably have more Heavy Chevys than any other spoilers car. Well, maybe not. I'd have to look. I know the one that I don't have, I only have 2 of, is the Evil Weevil. I do have 2 more Sugar Caddies, and looking at them, I would probably... We'll look at that in the future. I'll talk about that right now. Engine's not as shiny as some of the others, but yeah. Anyway, I'm really loving this one. So coming up, we had Diecast International Builders. March 5th, we have the Rat Rod Builds. On the 14th of February is the Love Boat. March is the Mercedes Builds. April is Autism Awareness, and May is the Pickup Trucks. So we hope you'll join us for those. Check all those out. I'm planning on doing some other builds in addition to that with another group. I'm not going to say what it is because I will just do them when I do them. So I think in March we have for St. Patrick's Day, the 3 Blind Mice is doing the Paint It Green challenge, so I'm going to paint it green. Something. Don't know what it's going to be. And then Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs is having his 2nd annual Porsche Invitational, and I believe that's in... I'd have to look it up. Go check him out. Go look for the video on his channel. I'll put a link in the description. I don't want to tell you the wrong date. I think I said the wrong date last week, and I don't want to do that again. that may be in March too, because I think I said February the last time. So yeah, I'll have to get cracking on those. But anyway, yeah, we're over 600. Not over 600. I wish we were over 600. We're getting there. Anyway, let's get to 1,000, guys. I'm not sure exactly what kind of thing I'm going to be giving away. Most likely I will do like I did for 500 and restore some cars to give away, some old Redlines, and we'll go from there. I still need to do the drawing for these two. I have not forgotten it yet. I've just been busy with other things, so we're still going to do that. And yeah, and then I'm going to start having drawings for the I'm drawing a blank here. The subscribers choice cars. I don't think I'm going to build any more of those. We'll just give away the ones that I did and call it good. As I mentioned in last week's video, that don't get as many likes on, not likes, don't get as many views on those, and have not had one person say, hey, what happened? Why haven't you been doing those? So I'm just like, you know what, let's do other things. Let's get Redline restorations, and we'll do the Diecast International Builders and maybe some other invitationals, and yeah, we'll just push forward and keep going. I'm working on zinc plating and some other things behind the scenes. I want to kind of perfect what I'm doing before I put it into a video, because sometimes I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to doing things. Some things are a breeze, other things I fight with, and the plating itself I'm not fighting with it, but the polishing the car after the plating. So I'm still working on some things with that, and once that's done, then we'll push forward with doing some of that stuff on some of these, and I may get the videos started and start the cars sooner, so when the videos due, I'm not pushing at the end to get them done like I did with the I'm not pushing to get them done like I did with the Camaro tonight. So yeah, I think that's beautiful though. Man, just look at that other thing. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below, click that like button, and ring the bell for notifications. As always, this is Don, the Diecast Pirate. I'll see you next time.